Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Armchair Pundits podcast. Merry Christmas, seasonal greetings, and hope everyone enjoyed the holiday season. Today, we've got James, Mons, and Bevan with us. How you doing, guys? How was your Christmas day?
It's all good, bruvs. Plenty of food, you know what I mean? Time with the family is nice.
Good, good,
Yourself?
good. Yeah, man, all good, all good. I had a quiet one this year, but no, it's good. Good food, good drink. Can't complain at all, man. Can't complain.
What
Yeah, it's
you
all
want in
good.
it?
I'm still enjoying. So I'm out of town right now.
Yeah, we can tell. So I've taken over the reins of hosting today for James, as you can probably tell already. So bear with me. But yeah, we'll start as we mean to go on. Everything we're talking about today is about AFCON. So first of all, we're going to talk about Group C to F because we've already spoken about groups A and B's first games. So we're going to round up pretty much the first match day or the first round of the matches from the tournament. So far, there's been a lot of drama, decisive moments, and there's a few talking points for us to go through today. So we'll be breaking down literally the rest of the 8 games that we haven't talked about so far, standout performances, early warnings for some of the heavyweights who have struggled, and some very, very dodgy decisions, which we know happens pretty much in every league and tournament. So we're going to be starting off with that. So first of all, we're going to go to our friend James, specifically about his team Nigeria, who ended up getting a 2-1 win over Tanzania. So James, tell us how you feeling about Nigeria's opening performance.
To be honest, it's same old, same old. Like when Nigeria are in these tournaments, they never blast teams away. They always slowly, and we get as far as we can get, but it's never really that scintillating football. So I didn't really expect much more than we got, simply because of the way the World Cup qualification ended as well. So on one hand, you're sitting there thinking, okay, are they going to come out and show that the World Cup qualification was a mistake, or are you going to get a bit more of the same? And to be honest, I wasn't in any fear that Tanzania were going to win the game. Even when they equalised, it was more of a case of why do we let them do this? Why do we always do things the hard way? But we were the better team from start to finish. Even when Oshimen scored, which was actually a good finish, but stay onside, an Oshimen problem.
Yeah, innit?
It's like Inzaghi. He always threatened offside, onside. But listen, first, what do you want from the first game in the tournament? To win it.
Yeah,
You
that's
win
all.
it, and then you
Yeah.
gradually improve as the games go on. And it was a game that should have been more than 2-1, if I'm being completely honest. But it's a new team. Captain's retired before the tournament, which was only 3 weeks ago that he
That
retired.
is bonkers, by the way.
Yeah. So obviously we've had all the other issues with um, money and coaches and managers wanting to talk about voodoo in previous games. So performance wise, we're in a defensive transition. We haven't got our first choice right back in Oleina. We haven't got our second choice right back in Fredericks, a young Brentford striker. But we still do have Bassi, Ajayi, and Zaidu at the back. So I don't expect us to concede lots of goals. But what I want is for our forward players to click more. And we got a good goal from Lookman. After they scored, I was like, come on.
I
But
tipped him as well,
anyway,
Jay. I
yeah,
tipped him
you
as
did
well.
tip him.
He
Yeah,
did.
he
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it
yeah.
off
You
the
did,
watch.
you
He
did.
did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure because of the season he's had, but he rocketed that in. It was a great goal.
Yeah, it was, man.
But we didn't kick on. We won the game, but we didn't kick on. So what I want from the next game is it to be less individual brilliance and become more cohesive collectively.
Yeah,
If we can do that, then we can rival the other nations that just have a bit more experience and potentially a bit more, as I hate to say it, but potentially a bit more individual talent in their squad throughout.
yeah.
Isn't it typical of
Yeah,
Nigeria to start quite slow in African Nations Cup though? It's almost like
yeah,
sometimes they go into it. I don't know. I don't think it's like complacency, but it's almost like they kind of have to work themselves into the tournament a lot of the
Get
time. And
warm.
even when
yeah,
you've had like less turmoil going into the tournament, I feel like that. There's times where you've been favourites or one of the favourites and you started slow. So again, as you said, 3 points is more important. What is it that you want to see more of in your next games?
I think when I spoke to you, I said we have some new young midfielders that I want to see blooded. Like, I've seen what we've got in midfield, and I'm not convinced completely. Like, I don't want to be too. Listen, I like Iwobi as a player, but I'm still not fully sold on him being a two in a double pivot. I'm not. If he's an attacking midfielder, then I'm a bit more convinced. If he's playing wide, a bit more convinced. So mainly, it's just the finishing needs to improve, and the work within our front six, so to speak, well, front five really. Chukwueze started, wasn't great, but Moses Simon came on, and he's someone that often flats to deceive, but he didn't flat to deceive this time. He did well. So, listen, guys, I'm talking to you guys because hopefully you guys in Nigeria squad are watching. Come on and do your thing. When you come off the bench, you come off the bench with meaning.
Yeah,
Yeah?
light it up.
Exactly. You all quality players attacking. All our attackers are quality. I won't even lie. Adams I haven't seen much of. He impressed me a bit. From what I saw, and he's got a good cross on him. So we know that our defense can be solid, but we have to score 3 goals to win a game. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we didn't that day. But I think when it comes to the top boys, we're going to score 3 goals to win a game.
It's funny you say that because obviously, like, have you got Tunisia next, or is
I
it
believe so, yeah.
Uganda? And they're probably up there with who
They're
people
one of the
would consider
favourites.
in their group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you saying that you got to score 3 goals. They, against Tunisia, I feel like that's what you need to do to win the game against them. Because a draw, that might not be good enough in that sense. If one of the other teams win, you'll have to leave it to the last day. You kind of want to just make sure you get over the line. So I get what you're saying, Jay.
Yeah.
Like, you really want to get over the line.
Yeah. So yeah, Tunisia tomorrow will be tough.
No, I was going to say, like, beating Tunisia is kind of like a marker, innit? Because I think in terms of they're the other team in this group that you would expect to go through, and they were ruthless in their game. So Nigeria beating Tunisia, it kind of sets it up nicely for the last game of the tournament.
I mean, that's a good way to segue to Tunisia because they were pretty convincing in their win over Uganda, 3-1. 2 goals from Elias Achouri, a couple of good goals for him, especially coming from midfield. But how do you feel about sort of the way Tunisia go about their business? Because they're never really fancied as a team when you think about individual brilliance. You don't see a lot of individuals in their team that sort of light things up, but they tend to work really well as a team, and they're always really organized and have been for a long time. So what do you think of Tunisia's hopes? And
it's funny you say that, Lee, yeah, because obviously the way James kind of finished off his Nigeria segment was talking about cohesion, yeah, and Tunisia have that in abundance. They got that they're balanced. Like, they don't really look for individuals to kind of do some bit of magic and turn a game around for them. Although they did have a midfielder score 2 goals, but that comes from like a well-oiled machine. Like, they've started the tournament as they mean to go on. That goal that they got from Uganda was late in the game because they pretty much thought the game was done. So it's one of them, innit? So, I do still feel like they are probably ones to watch. I feel like, anybody that's going to play against them, they need to be ready from minute 1 because they will be pressing, probing and trying to break the lines and will get goals from any number of players in their team. And, they're always in and around it in AFCON anyway, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, I would favour them, to be honest.
It's a well-oiled machine, isn't it? And like you say, they pop the ball about very well. And albeit it's Uganda, but you can still see that there's quality in there. So that game against Nigeria is going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one to watch for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely a marker point. And I guess it's good for both teams to see where they're at, especially with obviously more so for Nigeria, because realistically you do feel like these two are the better teams in the group. Yeah, they should be able to beat Uganda or Tanzania.
Yeah, comfortably.
Both teams, but it's more where is this marker, and how will they go about dealing with the next round of fixtures, especially when they get to the knockout stages. That's where things really hot up. So we'll see.
Yeah, we have to deal with the matter, as we say. do the matter, and then we don't have to worry about Uganda. You can rotate.
Agreed.
You can give guys some game time.
Yeah.
But I think that will be a tactical affair because Tunisia do play a very good tactical game, and the midfield is really good. So listen, we have to match up to it, and I think we will. It'll be tense, I think, and it'll probably be a 2-1.
Okay.
Nigeria, of course.
Oh, okay.
That's the marker, yeah.
You heard it first. You heard it here first. Said with chest as well, boy.
Indeed.
We must.
Cool. All right, so what we do?
All right.
Moving on to Congo because that game was thrilling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
It should have been more than one.
It should have been more than one. So
it should have been more than one.
Group D features Congo, Benin, Senegal, and Botswana. So the first game we'll talk about, as you said, Lamont, Congo versus Benin, and 1-0 to Congo. It's great determination to win that game, but as you said, definitely expected more goals than 1-0 considering the chances in that game.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just putting the ball in the back of the net. I think that's the only thing they're kind of struggling for, as you can tell, with the 1-0. But they defended resolutely to the point where they left it with a clean sheet, and I feel like in games like that where your opposing side you should win. Again, it's an opener, isn't it? It's not much to say. It's an opener. You want to make sure that you win it. You want to get 3 points on the board, and if you don't concede, even better. I mean, they're in a group against with Senegal, which arguably, everyone will look at Senegal's team and say, "Well, they should win it." I mean, I say everyone, but you know what I mean. In terms of what countries and what profile their players are, other teams they're playing in, you'd argue that Senegal should walk that group respectfully, but Congo could also, upset some people over in Senegal if they're not careful. I fancied more goals in that game, but 1-0, 3 points.
That's the thing, though. If you can't put the ball in the back of the net, bruv, you're going to struggle, especially when you come up against quality. And with Senegal dispatching Botswana, like you can't really rest on your laurels and not be taking chances like that, because the bigger teams are going to punish you if you're not ruthless in front of goal. Because we've seen so far, we've seen a lot of teams defend with a lot of spirited defense and stuff like that. But then as the game gets on, teams get tired, mistakes start happening, and then you're up when you're up against guys that can finish and stuff like that, and I've got quality up front. You're gonna struggle. So, I mean, it's a good start for Congo, as you said.
Yeah,
it's further test to come.
To the other game, did you guys see or hear about the VAR controversy that happened during that game?
Go on, which one are you talking about?
There was a handball against Congo. I think he was Mbemba. And the referee stopped play to go and check the VAR monitor. But the screen was completely dead.
Yo,
imagine earlier in the game there was an incident which was ruled out for a DR Congo goal was ruled out, and VR was working at that point. By the time it had got to that handball incident, it had malfunctioned. So basically, he went over to the screen. He couldn't review it, so he couldn't give the penalty, which it would have been a pen had he have been able to see it, but he had no footage to review, so he had to just continue with play in the end. So for Benin, obviously, that's a big talking point for them, and they'll feel aggrieved that they didn't get a chance.
Massively aggrieved
of getting a goal. And again, obviously, VR malfunctions happen everywhere. We can't say it's because of where it is or whatever. We've seen it happen in the Premier League. Teams are being relegated because of it. Teams are trying to sue because of it. So it's one of those things, but it just shows you how we think we can rely on technology, but ultimately you need to be able to see decisions in the first instance, and referees can't just rely on the fact that they may have a backup because it just might not work. So the screen going completely dead, I have not seen, but as I said, we have seen VAR malfunction many times in other situations. So big issue for Benin,
and it could be telling at the end, though, Lee.
For sure,
Lee, I mean that at the end because
it could be
tight. I mean, Benin are a pretty organised team as well. You know, they did well to hang in and at the 1-0, but it's gonna be tough. So we'll move on to Senegal, who got a 3-0, pretty convincing 3-0 win against Botswana. and our boy Nicholas Jackson showing a little bit of composure, some composure that we haven't seen in the Premier League from him.
Bro.
But 2 good goals for him. What did you think of Senegal's performance? I mean, they were definitely one of the favourites. I think that was James's pick as his tip for the tournament. So, what do you make of their performance in their first game?
It could have been more. It could have been more. That's how it was. Jackson's been riding bench pretty much a lot for Bayern, and he came out to show, listen, I can score goals, not just Harry Kane. And obviously, there's a lot of talk of Osimhen being the best striker in Africa. He rates himself as the best striker in Africa, and he sees it. This is a chance to prove it. But the firepower they have is ridiculous, which is why I picked them for the favourites. It's just non-stop. So it was a good game. Not only the fact that there was a lot of goals scored, it was the football. The free-flowing football, the intricacy of the passing. It's just a level that we want to see. And it's a level that we want to be showcased, not just now, but in the World Cup next year as well. Yeah. So it's a really good game, really good squad, and I think they'll probably win it. But
they've got squad depth beyond belief. They've got squad depth, bro. They've got power, they've got pace, they've got, the physical dominance. They've got the lot, mate. And if they didn't get to at least the final, James, I feel like everybody will be scratching their head thinking, like, what happened there? Because they've got a game they've got a squad for any kind of scenario.
It would be a collapse, innit? It'd be interesting to see what happens when they do come up against if they do come up against like a Algeria or a Tunisia or someone like that, to see how they stack up against those type of teams. Because really, in all honesty, you do expect them to get out of this group pretty easily,
comfortably.
Yeah. And like Jackson showed quality as well, because he took both of his goals well, and as Leon said, showed some real composure.
Hey, mate, the way he sat down,
bro.
I was like, yo,
the footwork was nice.
I can't lie.
That's what they had 9 big chances in that game,
Yeah, crazy.
9 big chances, 17 shots on target. That's mad. It was literally David versus Goliath. But we'll see what happens next game when they play.
Yeah, I mean, they've been impressive under I think the manager Pap Thiaw took over from Aliou Cisse, who would have been big boots to fill, because obviously he was the first to win the African Nations Cup for Senegal in 2021. But Pap Thiaw's taken over last year, and I think he's got like an 80% win record since he took over or something like that. So impressive, man.
Oh, good numbers.
Very. They've qualified for the World Cup, and they look good for the tournament, for this tournament. So we'll see how they progress, and obviously they'll have to play Congo as well, which will be a much tougher test than Botswana. But we will see. On to Group E then, and we'll start off with Burkina Faso versus Equatorial Guinea. Burkina Faso, another sort of one of those underdog kind of teams. They're a team that tends to cause a few surprises every now and then in the African Nations Cup. You never really fancied, but they always give someone a tough going. So, what was your thoughts on the game?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, they were my dark horses, and I was a little bit underwhelmed because it was pretty at times, But again, in tournaments, you need like a threat. You need to be clinical. And I feel like they really lack that punch. Mm-hmm. And, to leave it so late to spin the game around is your tempting fate. Remember,
they got out of jail, bro.
They got out of jail, bro.
They did, big time.
For the viewers that maybe didn't catch it, is it Equatorial Guinea? They scored in the 85th minute to make it 1-0, right? Yeah. After having a man sent off, in the 50th minute. You just need to remember that these are all key factors, They had a man sent off in the 50th minute, and then at 0-0. They've then scored at the 85th minute, and then Burkina Faso decided that they were going to score in the 90th minute, in 5th minute of injury time, and the 8th minute of injury time. So the game was basically done. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong, it does take a certain type of character to concede so late in the game and still be able to come up and rise up and, get a result. But, you're tempting fate massively there. I'm not going to talk too much on it. They got out of jail. They've got 3 points on the board. I'm going to guess that they're going to go back, have a little kind of dust off and say, listen, we can't do that. You know who else we got in this group? We can't be leaving it so late in the day, mate.
Nah.
The header from Guinea was a good header.
Yeah.
It was a good header. And their 2 goals in the space of however minutes.
Bro, it's 3 minutes.
Bro. 3 minutes, bro.
3 minutes.
Mad.
Yeah, and it was both literally, come on, sort your left side out. When you go down the right-hand side and get back in and cross it, don't let them do it again 2 minutes later. So, they weren't identical goals, but they came from the same avenue.
Yeah.
You got to lock it down after the first one.
Yeah, you have to.
Tapsoba scores the winner. He's someone that's known, obviously, because he plays for big clubs in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, listen, like you've already said, they usually are a dark horse because they've got some good players like Bertrand Traore and some others as well.
Yeah, they got Ouattara in it, who plays for Brentford now. He was at Bournemouth. He went to Brentford.
Yeah, Django.
So yeah, they got a few players who can cause a problem. So they'll be fancying themselves to get through to the next round as well. We'll quickly move on to Algeria, another one of the favourites in the tournament, and they beat Sudan 3-0. And a very, very familiar face getting a couple of goals.
Mahrez.
Bro.
The guy's a magician.
One is old-fashioned curler. We know what Mahrez can do, especially when he gets it on that left peg, man. Still got it. He's obviously playing in. I think he's playing in Saudi Arabia now.
I think the
2 minutes, the first one. Literally, they didn't give Sudan a chance.
when you see the first one, you see like how that team played together because the play for the first goal was cold, man. It was set up nicely. Mm-hmm. We've seen a lot of teams be very direct in the way that they're playing football, but then when it gets to the box, there's not the same amount of quality in the finishing. And then you've seen this with Algeria, like the finishing for Mahrez's both goals was quality, and that could be the difference maker, really. I feel like I've said that already, but
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was you, Bev, or one of the boys, but you definitely called Mahrez to be, he's going to be Algeria's. He's going to be Algeria's. He's Algeria's maverick. Yeah.
He's one of the big names, and we expect him to perform in these tournaments.
Yeah, they control that game though, tempo and everything. Yeah. Like, if they wanted to press, that's what they were doing. They spread their goals throughout the game, and you could see that they were just trying stuff. Do you know what I mean? They were just moving.
Exactly what you're saying. The pass for second goal outside the boot. Yeah. The way Mahrez controlled it and then sat the goalkeeper down and then slightly lifted it. Listen, like you said, they played some good football.
Yeah, man. But like I said, 3 points on the board. Another one that we all predicted that we'll be getting through. So there's no shock there just yet.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. We'll move on to another heavy hitter. Ivory Coast getting a 1-0 win over Mozambique. A little bit unexpected result there, and more the scoreline than anything else. We expected Ivory Coast to win by a little bit more. But they've managed to pull out a 1-0 victory, and a familiar face to Lamont got the winner.
Come on.
So your boy Ahmad.
Hey, do you know who assisted him?
No.
I know it wasn't that game. It was another game I'm talking about. No, anyway, don't matter. No, in truth, I just wanted to say one thing though. Ivory Coast, they're just the coldest coming into the tournament, but their thing was clean. Yeah, when I see them in the white and the gold, they were looking very smooth. No, not even the kit. I'm just talking about their whole fit when they were coming into the tournament. Do you get what I'm saying? They had definitely came in with a statement, just like winners. But again, I think similar to one of the games I spoke about earlier on, a little bit underwhelmed with the scoreline.
Pure mismatches,
brother. They should have been away by half time. Yeah. But again, I feel like it's a lot of snatching at the ball and they're trying to, Zaha had 1 or 2 chances, but you could see sometimes he was trying too much. And it just wasn't kind of working for them one way or another. And the goal that they got, it was a good goal, but it kind of came from just a ball just running into the box, poor defending, and then Diallo just slots it away. So yeah, it's
They'll
just one of
take
them,
it.
you know.
They'll
Yeah, you
take
gotta
it.
take
They'll
it, bro.
take it. And we know they've got a lot of familiar faces in their team. Quite a few Premier League or ex-Premier League players as well. But I guess for Ivory Coast, it's a warm-up into the tournament. And we know Mozambique, they're another really difficult, plucky side. Got Renido, who plays for Sunderland. He joined in the summer, is playing in the Premier League now. And you didn't ever feel like they were going to cause a threat. They were just there to kind of like hang in there as long as they could. But
Yep.
there's a lot of strength in that Ivory Coast team, and physical strength and speed. And you always felt like eventually they were going to be able to just deal with that. But
Can I say though, you see these close games, you see the underdog in these close games, they're and just so the viewers know, like the underdogs have had big chances in these games, so it could have easily have been like a mess for the other side, like, literally. So yeah, I think Ivory Coast again got away with one, but deservedly so. They came out the victors.
Definitely,
I think it happened to them last time in the last tournament. They meandered through to the final. Right, we were heavy favourites for the final because of the way we played in the knockout stages. Ivory
Dispatching
Coast
teams.
know they can they can step it up. Because one thing they've got is experience. I forgot they've got Skhiri playing in midfield, someone who was called like Xavi back in the day when he was younger. The way he controls the midfield. So Sangare playing and Kessier, their midfield is strong. And they know, like I said, they know that if it's not quite going well, if they can see the goal, they'll step it up. And I think that's what will happen as the games go on. And their attack is ridiculous.
All right, we'll move on to the last game. Cameroon versus Gabon. Another 1-0 win for Cameroon. Obviously, a lot of turmoil going into the tournament for them as well, with some managerial and selection controversy. But Etu has basically overruled that decision, and his coach has been selected. So a winner for Iyong, and Mbumo playing a part in that game and causing most of the problems that Cameroon posed. How do you feel of Cameroon's performance and their hopes, especially after the turmoil going into the tournament?
Gabon are no slouches though, you know.
Nope.
I'm not gonna lie to you. They're no slouches. I mean, they just give me Leicester City vibes. Like they just come through and they'll turn teams over and they won't even know why. I mean, the Mbumo assist for the young goal, yeah. I didn't mention him on our last pod, but he's also a one to watch because did you see the way he took his goal? Mate, ball played through and he's just hit it sweet on his right foot through the keeper's legs. See you later. What a goal. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he play in France? I'm sure, or was he playing in Germany? I'm not entirely sure, but I know
he's in
for
Spain.
his clubs. Is it Spain?
Yeah.
But I know for
Levante.
his club side, yeah, domestically, he is in like some reign of form at the minute where he's getting chances often and converting. So long may it continue, man. Cameroon, another one. I'm glad they got points on the board. You could see mentality on the day was whatever happens, we're gonna win. But another team that have just had so many chances and could have made it embarrassing. But again, Gabon did have a few chances too.
Yeah, I mean,
one thing I forgot to mention was Baliba going off, Lee. Baliba going off was Baliba went off for them, and he went off. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when he went off, the centre midfield just looked disjointed. Like they were just Gabon were just roaming through there like it was no man's business. And I thought to myself, wow, it's quite funny when you see it from outside looking in, how one person could literally just make a massive difference. And he definitely did. But they'll worry now if they don't get him back soon. And I think even Brighton would.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back.
For the tournament, he isn't, is he?
Nah,
no way, Hammy, bro. That's weak.
And the joke is he's actually struggled this season for Brighton, really. So, I mean, they've left a lot of experience out of that squad, especially with the selection controversy prior to the tournament. So they're missing a lot of the experience that they would normally have. And you can see, they don't, as much as, you might say that Onana is not the guy, but he's been playing well in Turkey this season. So there's a lot of experience missing. Victor Boubacar, or Vincent Boubacar, I should say, he's not there either. And I think he was a threat to Etu's goal scoring record. which is what the what the people are saying. Not saying that that's
Wow.
why he's not selected in it, but he's not there. So
No. Egos are there. Egos are there everywhere. So
yo, I'm telling you, that's
crazy.
funny though.
It's crazy.
I listen. I forgot to mention something else. I think I'm not disappointed because we've spoken about this outside of African nations, but watching Desiree Doué's brother play at right back, it made me think: what if he'd chosen to play for Ivory Coast as well, man?
Oh,
such a shame.
Mate,
What Ivory Coast could have been
brother,
with Desiree Doué up front as well, out wide.
Him and Diallo out wide. Them fullbacks are having a long day.
But not even that. Doué could play as an attacking midfielder. If you look at Ivory Coast midfield, it's very physical, industrious. It's not creative. They've got Kessié, they've got Sangare, and they've got Skhiri, who are pretty much all DMs.
Yeah.
That are playing in midfield. You would say Kessié is maybe box to box because he can get a
yeah, he's more of an 8, innit? He's more of an 8.
But with someone like Doué, it could be curtains. But no,
it's a shame, man. Seeing one brother there and the other one's not.
Yeah,
but that's how it is in football.
It's how it is in football.
It's one of my gripes that I just have to get. I have to get over. I got to get over.
No, don't get over it, bro. That's what we're here for. We're here to talk about it. Hey, right. Do you get what I'm saying? When these men are not really getting the kudos they deserve in the places where they're looking for, but the people that they maybe should be playing for, but the other options that they have, they're looking at it as a contingency. You need to look at where are you really going to play and be able to shine. Just go and shine over there, bro. Just do your thing over there.
It's about talent, man. It's talent. It's talent poaching. We know it's talent poaching.
I'm not.
Yeah,
bro, them man have been doing talent poaching for years, bruv. They're shameless about it, bruv. They're shameless. You know what I mean?
100%. All right, so that's the end of our roundup on the groups. But we'll just go into a couple of topics just to think about who would you say is your most impressive team so far, or who have you been most impressed by for each of you? Start off with James. Who's your most impressive team so far?
Well, it's obviously got to be Nigeria because
what?
Being Nigerian,
bro, you were just complaining that it was an unconvincing performance. You're doing a Lamont right now.
That is shameless, James.
Mate, your name is
Your rose tints when it comes to Man United is like James Green tints for Nigeria, bro.
Fair.
All right. Fair enough. Aside from Nigeria, who showed something, Senegal has to be. Senegal's game was just a joy to watch the way they attacked, and they defended well as well. So it wasn't just like all-out attack. They defended well as well. So for me, Senegal.
Okay, Bevan, who's your most impressed by?
I was going to agree with that. I was going to say Senegal as well, to be honest. Yeah, they said their attacks are ridiculous.
I was going to go for Algeria.
So was I have to say. I underestimated them a little bit going into the tournament, but I think they look good, and they're always there or thereabouts. I think when the knockout stages come, we'll really see who is about it and who's gonna make it through to the next stage. Who would you say is the biggest concern so far from a performance wise? And I'm looking at James at the moment because he's already kind of said it. But are you genuinely concerned, or are you positively optimistic about Nigeria?
Right. Because I'm Nigerian, they're obviously going to be my biggest concern. So I can't add Nigeria into it. So I have to objectively take Nigeria out of it. And aside from Nigeria, for me, it'll be Cameroon because of the loss of Baleba. Obviously he's young, but looking what's around them and with a lot of the changes, they're a big nation.
Would you could put them as a favourite though before the tournament?
They're one of the favourites. Cameroon always one of the favourites.
Okay.
Cameroon are always one of the favourites because they can turn up. But if I be honest with you, all the other favourites have played well. They've all won their games. They've all played well.
To be fair, most of the favourites have won. So
yeah, so it's just Cameroon. Out of all of them, the ones that you'll be worried about. For me.
Cool. All right. Well, that's our breakdown of Group C through to Group F. And, we're starting to get to see who really means business in the tournament. And we'll go into the second round and we'll see second round of games and see how everyone fares. But if you've enjoyed this analysis, please like, please subscribe, please hit that bell, please hit all the buttons apart from the dislike button. That's the only button we don't want you to press. But honestly, thank you for watching. Thank you to James. Thank you to Lamont. Thank you to Bevan for joining us again during this
Thank
Christmas
you to you,
period.
Leon, for hosting. Thank you for you for hosting, Leon.
Round of applause, round of applause.
You guys are trying to bait me to do it more often. I know you're doing it, bro. But no, thank you.
Give me a rest sometime, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's all good, bro. But no, we'll be back for more Armchair Pundits. We'll be doing our Premier League roundup on Sunday, which will be out on Monday. And we'll also be doing the next second round of AFCON next week as well. So please stay tuned. Until then, take care and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Laters.